are at play here in the top of the first. And the next one is drilled into center field. And that'll be a base hit. On the play, Jacob Ruiz to third, and hustling into second base with a double will be Chris Munoz. So quickly, LA has a rally going in the top of the first. It'll bring up their third batter, Robert Ramirez, who is their right fielder. Runners at second and third, and nobody out. And that pitch is deemed illegal. 2 balls and 1 strike. David Valiente is in the on-deck circle. The next one is hit in the hole to left field for a base hit. Ruiz scores, Munoz scores, and quickly, LA is out in front 2-0. We are in the D division here on this Sunday. And David Valiente swings and hits one into shallow left center field. Coming out to make the play is the shortstop, but it falls in behind him for a base hit. And Valiente is on with a single, so we have runners at first and second. For Jimmy Ruiz. And Jimmy Ruiz hits one into left center field. That's a hit. Ramirez will hold up at third base. Valiente into second base, and so the bases are loaded. We still have nobody out. So just like the first game that Andrew Bowman pitched, which was the game that preceded this, he had a rough first inning, and he has a rough first inning going in this game. The first pitch is illegal to Adrian Garcia. And Garcia waits on this pitch and hits one in the hole into left field for a hit. Ramirez will score. Valiente will hold at third base, and it's now 3-0. Anthony Sanchez, the batter. He is their left fielder. And the first pitch with the sacks loaded. Into left field for another hit. Here's Valiente scoring and playing station-to-station softball. Jimmy Ruiz into third base. It's 4-0.
They really started off with a hot bag of bats, didn't they, Rich?
Everyone that has come up to bat has gotten a single.
And swinging early.
Makes the game go faster. Here's a line drive into right field for a base hit by Octavio Gamboa. A run will score as Jimmy Ruiz crosses home plate. It's 5-0. Everybody moves up a base. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, these basic pitches are from the Greater Los Angeles Softball Association from LA. And the Gunnerz, of course, are from the Mid-Atlantic Softball Association, or what we call MASA, and they are the Norfolk Gunnerz.
Rudy Garcia takes a ball and now lifts one foul and caught in foul territory by the third baseman, Luis Ortega, and that is the first out of the inning. And they have now batted around. Javier Olake is the batter. And the first pitch to him. He lifts one in the air to left center field. It'll be caught out there, and then on the play, we have a run crossing as Garcia scores to make it 6-0. There are 2 out, and we go back to the top of the order and Jacob Ruiz. The other 2 runners held their position. Ruiz swings and bounces one peck to the pitcher, tall enough to grab it so it wouldn't go over his head. And on the play, Ruiz is out. The putout will go 1-3. And after the first 8 batters got singles, Bowman settles down to get the last 3, but still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs score in the inning. And after 1/2 inning, it's the LA Basic pitches 6 and the Norfolk Gunnerz coming to bat here on the Cloud Sports Network.
Now that we have a break in the action, I want to tell you about my friend Bridget at Angel Babies Surrogacy and Egg Donation. They're an international agency that's proudly helped queer folks build their families all over the world for 20 years. So if you're gay and you're ready to add to your family, then you're going to need an egg donor and a surrogate. Now, Bridget and her team at Angel Babies have high-quality, affordable egg donors and surrogates ready to help. And believe me, you want Bridget on your team. She is amazing, and her success rates are outstanding. So wherever you are in the United States, know that she will not quit until you've achieved your dream. To get Bridget on your team, head over to absurro.com. That's absurro.com, and get in touch with my friend Bridget today. Affordable, high-quality egg donors, and they work almost exclusively with LGBTQ couples. So if you are looking for an egg donation and surrogacy agency that understands you, then you want Bridget at Angel Babies Surrogacy and Egg Donation. That's absurro.com. absurro.com. We've been awfully glad and proud to share the information from Gen 5 Fertility and Angel Baby Surrogacy and Egg Donation throughout the weekend here, as they've signed on to be Cloud Sports Network broadcast sponsors. As gay couples are looking to build their family, or gay parents are wanting to become parents, and they're wanting to do it biologically, you'll have a friend at absurro.com.
All right, bottom of the first, and our friend Ron Frank leads off and hits one just out of the reach of the second baseman and into right center field for a base hit. The second baseman, Octavio Gamboa, trying to reach out on his backhand and make the catch, but the ball was just over his glove. That'll bring up Joseph Bergen. He is the left center fielder. He bats from the left side. The score is 6-0, but this is Norfolk's first at-bat in this ball game. And the first pitch is a ball. The 2-1 delivery is a strike called. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So who are you rooting for, Facebook? Norfolk or Los Angeles?
Swing and in the hole between third and short and on into left field for a base hit, and Frank holds second. The shortstop was playing closer to the bag at second base for the left-handed batter, and he hit it right in that hole where the shortstop would normally have been for a right-handed batter. So we have runners at first and second now and nobody out for Ruiz Ortega.
You might hear a helicopter flying over. That's what that sound is, in case you're wondering if our mics are picking that up.
Ortega hits one into right field and caught out there for out number 1. The catch made by Robert Ramirez, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the first, and we'll bring up the left fielder, Cody Brown. Locke first pitch, swung on and drilled in the left field. That ball gets down for a hit. Ron Frank making sure that the ball fell, held up before he raced home with the first run of the game for Norfolk. Bergen on his way to third, and it'll be a double for Cody Brown. It's 6-1. And Randy Simmons will be the batter. Two on, 1 in, and 1 out. First pitch is a ball.
Norfolk likes to hit like Florida voters, early and often.
Swung on and hit fair down the line. Bergen will score. Ortega will be held at third. It's now 6-2 on the base hit by Randy Simmons. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Andrew Bowman. And the first pitch. Swing and ball hit just past the reach of the second baseman on into right field for a hit. Ortega scores. It's now 6-3, and Simmons held second. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Here's Ronnie Burnham. He hits a ground ball to the third baseman. Third baseman steps on third for the first out, and that forces Randy Simmons. Bowman takes second. Burnham will be safe at first on the fielder's choice. John Babb, the batter, and he hits one, a line drive caught by the first baseman, Jimmy Ruiz, and that's the inning. 3-run score in the inning, though, for the Norfolk Gunners, and after one, here on the Cloud Sports Network, it's LA 6 and Norfolk 3.
So if you're not gonna be able to come back all the way, at least having the lead gives you a fighting chance to take it over in the next inning, and that's exactly what Norfolk did. So they did sort of part one in the comeback there. Now part two of the comeback is going to be to hold this deficit. So they don't want to give up too many more runs to LA's basic pitches, which is, by the way, a fantastic name for a softball team.
Mm-hmm. I have a little bit of food in my mouth.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, you're good. Munching on some beef jerky over there.
Trying to keep up my strength. Because after all, we've been in Las Vegas and we haven't eaten enough while we've been here.
No, not at all. At Bellagio breakfast buffet. I've lost my honey, by the way.
I'll let you explain that in just a moment.
That did sound a little out of context. We went to the Bellagio Hotel yesterday for breakfast because the restaurant in the hotel that we're staying in is closed, and it's right across the street. And they had these wonderful little organic honey packets, and so I took a couple.
There's a line drive fair down the line and into the right field corner off the bat of Robert Ramirez, who will motor into second base, and on his way to third. As the right fielder had trouble getting the ball, they may try to score him. And they will try to score him. And he'll be safe.
As he was jogging around the bases, I think he thought, well, I'll get to second. And then they were still digging around that ball out of the corner. And he's like, well, maybe I'll get to third. And then the ball had been dropped by the cutoff. And at that point, he's like, oh, well, maybe I'll just go all the way home.
So it's now 7-3. The previous batter was Chris Munoz, and he had a fly ball to left center field. Meanwhile, here is David Valiente, and he hits one fair down the left field line. It went into the corner. The ball called fair, and it's a double for Valiente.
That was right on the line. That ball was. Home plate umpire was right there to call it. Right on the line.
And here is Jimmy Ruiz. Jimmy Ruiz in that first inning hit a double and scored a run. He takes a pitch outside. There's a fly ball hit out into center field. That ball's got some carry and will one hop to the fence. This will allow Valiente to score, and Ruiz will hold it second with an RBI double. And then another run in for the LA basic pitches.
So they get two of the three back that they gave up in the first. Trying to get their lead back to 6.
Adrian Garcia now hits a high chopper foul to the third base coach, who grabs it with one hand. Gives it to the third baseman, who tosses back to the pitcher.
Got jammed on that one, a little bit out in front, and trying to pull an inside pitch that was already inside. And when you're early on those, that's going to be your result.
And the next delivery, swung on and grounded third. Nice backhanded play, and on to first for the out. That was a nice stop.
That was well done. Made the stop, got the glove down, and then a little twirl.
That was Luis Ortega flashing the leather at third base. That's the second out of the inning, and will bring up Anthony Sanchez. He hits one in the air to left center field. Ball got a little carry on it. However, the ball is caught out in left center field, and that is the third out of the inning. However, two more runs come across for the LA basic pitches, and after an inning and a half, they lead 8-3 over the Norfolk Gunners here on the Cloud Sports Network.
So they don't get all three back, but they got two of them.
Norfolk with their second at-bat here in this game against the LA Basic Pitches. It'll be Mark Curbs to lead off, followed by Richard Chambers. And then we'll go back to the top of the order and Ron Frank. Curbs' first at-bat in this ball game. And here is the first pitch to him. The illegal pitch called by the umpire, said to lift it, get a little higher. It was too low, below the 6 feet threshold. That pitch is a ball 3. And the 3-1 is a strike called, and the count is full. It's 3-2. Swung on and a grounder to third. Backhanded, bobbled, recovered, a throw. Safe. That bobble allowed for Curbs to reach. So he is a leadoff base runner, and here is Richard Chambers. Chambers, the catcher on this team. First pitch to Chambers. He hits a ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop flips to second for 1. On to first, safe. So their lead runner is forced at second base. The putout goes 6-4. And that's Valiente to Gamboa. And that'll bring up Ron Frank, who singled and scored in his previous plate appearance. Ron Frank swings and hits a ground ball to the third baseman. It's fielded on the short hop by him and on to first, safe. So another forced play as Chambers is forced at second base.
On that relay throw back to first, the first baseman had to come off the bag to stop that ball from going out into the dugout of their basic pitches field. So the runner was called safe because the first baseman had to come off the bag.
Joe Bergen, the batter, he singled and scored in the first inning. Ron Frank at first base with 2 out now. Bergen swings and hits one to straightaway center field. That ball will get down and it'll one hop to the fence. Ron Frank on his horse will come around third and he will score, and Bergen will pull up at third base. No play, it's a triple and an RBI.
That ball was tattooed. That had the fence written all over it.
He hit it where there was no one.
Yeah.
Because they were playing him straight away. That left the center field hole wide open, and Bergen took advantage of it. It'll bring up Ruiz Ortega, who flied to right, his first at-bat. Runner at third, now 2 out, and that pitch is hit up the middle, just past the pitcher's glove and on into center field for a hit, and an RBI for Ortega. And it is now 8-5. The LA Basic Pitches leading the Norfolk Gunnerz 8-5 here as we play in the bottom of the second. Cody Brown singled and scored in the first inning.
And the lead is back to 3 again, as they get the 2 runs back that they gave up.
There's a fly ball hit out into left field. It had a little carry on it and caused the left fielder to have to back up a little, but the catch is made out in left field by Anthony Sanchez, and that is the inning. 2 more runs, though, for the Norfolk Gunnerz, and after 2, it is the LA Basic Pitches 8 and the Norfolk Gunnerz 5 here on the Cloud Sports Network.
Now, Rich, I'm going to give a shout out to our crew here. In addition to Tyler Forster, who's over there on graphics and instant replay, and Mitch Barnes, who's over there and making our computers all talk to each other and making sure we sound good, and Jordan Espiritu, who's over there getting lineups for us and all the team shout outs and such.
And has great hair today.
He does. Hair and makeup by Jordan Espiritu. I also want to give a shout out to Charles Brown, who has been remarkably helpful to us. He is from the Orange County, Los Angeles area, and since we have a sizable Los Angeles audience in the watching us today, I want to give a shout out to him. If you're looking for a stylist, you can check out his work on Instagram. He is at hair_by Charles Brown.
And his hair looks good today, too.
He uses curlers. Not really.
First pitch hitting is Oscar Gamboa, and he bounces back to the pitcher for out number 1.
It's his naturally curly hair. But you can check out his work on Instagram and see what he looks like since he's there.
Rudy Garcia fouled out to the catcher, and he hits one out in the left field for a base hit. Ball just getting by the third baseman, Luis Ortega, and so a one-out base runner is Rudy Garcia. Here's Javier Olake. Number 29, 79, right-handed batter is their pitcher. And Andrew Bowman's first pitch is inside for a ball.
So who are you rooting for, Facebook? Let us know. Type in the chat. If you're watching along on YouTube, you can type in the chat there too. Though most of our YouTube viewers, Rich, I don't know if you know this or not, are actually watching on smart TVs. They're using the YouTube app and watching us on TV.
So they're getting the big picture of the big picture.
Big picture of our high-res images that we're shooting out today.
The next one is swung on and hit out into left field. The ball will get down and will skip a few feet away from the left fielder. Here comes Garcia to third, and he will hold up there. It'll be a double for Olake.
It sure did look like he had designs on coming all the way home, though, didn't it? As he got to third, and he looked at it, and he looked at it, and his coach was holding him up, and I think he was thinking, but I want to go.
And here's Jacob Ruiz. He might have gone with 2 out, but not with 1. And Jacob Ruiz takes the pitch outside for a ball. That's good third base coaching down there.
I think absolutely, and especially kind of playing the long game. You've got a good lead right now.
Ruiz hits one beyond the pitcher. The shortstop has no play, and Rudy Garcia scores. It's now 9-5.
You've got a good lead. He gets there. You've only got 1 down. A base hit will score 1, probably 2. In that case, it was just 1. But he comes in. And if the basic pitchers are going to make a run in this division, they're going to have to win a few more. So save some of that energy.
Here is Chris Munoz. He takes the strike. It's 1-2. And the next one. He swings and grounds one up the middle, and that will be a base hit. Olake scores. Jacob Ruiz on his horse gets to third. It's 1st and 3rd, and 1 out, and 2 runs in the inning. For Robert Ramirez has singled, and he has tripled, and he has scored 2 runs. And here's a ground ball past the third baseman into left field for a hit. Jacob Ruiz scores. 3 runs have scored in the inning. It's 11-5. And that'll bring up David Valiente. He today has hit a single and a double. He has scored twice. He has 3 RBIs in the first pitch to David. He swings and lines one off the third baseman's glove.
Run it out.
And will get the force out at second. They try for the double play first. The ball was overthrown.
And it goes into out-of-play territory.
So that will allow Chris Munoz to score. He had held third on the ground ball, but he will score on the overthrow.
There's a little opening in the end of the dugout where the basic pitches are, and at the end of that opening is a doorway that leads into a kind of a warm-up batting cage area. And that was where the ball went to. It went right through that doorway, and that's a dead ball area, so everybody moves up a base.
And Valiente is at second base. He's in scoring position for this hit by Jimmy Ruiz, and he'll come around to score, Will Valiente. He scores the team's 5th run in the inning. Adrian Garcia, the batter. He has a single and a run scored. He has also grounded out to the third baseman. He's 1 for 2. And he takes the first pitch and hits one to the shortstop, backhanded, fielded by the shortstop. He has a play at second, and the force out made on Jimmy Ruiz, and that is the third out in the inning. But 1, 2, 3, I've got 5 runs scoring in this inning for the basic pitches. And as we move to the bottom half of the third, our new score is the LA Basic Pitches 13 and the Norfolk Gunnerz 5 on the Cloud Sports Network.
This is a good opportunity to remind our audience that it is with somewhat heavy hearts today that we are broadcasting from the Ken Scarce Memorial Broadcast Center. And that means that in honor of our fallen friend Ken Scarce, who passed away last year rather suddenly, the former tournament director of the Sin City Classic, as our homage to him, we have named our broadcast studios this weekend the Ken Scarce Memorial Broadcast Center, as he was a good friend to both Rich and myself.
He has been remembered tenfold this weekend by so many people who he loved and who loved him and who he helped. Mentor, always with a kind word to say, but always tough when it came to telling you what he thought that you might want to do when you reached out to him and you asked him, well, how do I handle this, or what should I do with this? And he was always honest about it and would always end the conversation, and we repeat this consistently with, you got this.
We were sort of blessed yesterday to be able to call a game from his former team, the LA Softball Cartel. That team is helmed nowadays by Freddie Alvarez, Ken's partner.
Here in the bottom of the third inning, with his team trailing by 8, Randy Simmons leads off and hits a base hit to left field.
No doubt Ken would be looking down right now, proud of how this Los Angeles team from Glassa is performing in this game.
Yes, he would be very pleased. They've hit the ball very well. They fielded well. Andrew Bowman with a ground ball to the second baseman. A flip to short for 1 on to first, not in time.
Good scoop by that first baseman to try to get it. Just the speed of the runner and the slowness with which the ball was hit was a recipe for a safe call at first base.
Ronnie Burnham, the batter, he hit into a fielder's choice to the third baseman in the first inning, and he takes a pitch inside for ball 1. And that pitch is deep. 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner at first, and that pitch, and 1 out, and now that pitch is ball 4. So that'll send Andrew Bowman to second base, and we'll bring up the first baseman, John Babb, who hit a hard liner to the first baseman in the first inning. He bats with 2 on and takes the first pitch deep for a ball. Here's the next one. He swings and hits one to the second baseman. Ruiz on to short for 1, on to first, double play.
That ball was hit hard enough to turn 2. So no runs come across. It's still the same score, 13-5. LA Basic Pitches over the Norfolk Gunnerz. And coming up Easter weekend, April 15th through the 17th in Richmond, Virginia, Naga presents the Naga Cup, an invitational tournament for the best of the best in A and B division tournament play. Check them out on Facebook at 2022 Naga Cup. Then, later in the year, y'all come to Dallas for the Gay Softball World Series, you hear? It's August 29th through September 3rd, and more than 200 teams are expected from all across the U.S. and Canada. Visit nagasoftball.org for more details, and check out the host city's Facebook page at 2022 Dallas Gay Softball World Series. And the Cloud Sports Network is going to be broadcasting from the Gay Softball World Series in Dallas on September 2nd and 3rd, what we call Elimination Friday and Championship Saturday.
And we are so happy to be back doing the World Series this year.
Be bringing our Cloud Sports Network team to the Hilton Anatole and to all of the, well, not all of the complexes, but wherever it is Naga sends us, I guess is the best way to say.
I think there are 6 or 7 complexes that Dallas will be using. First pitch swinging is Anthony Sanchez, and he hits one to the shortstop. We'll beat it out for a base hit.
It takes a village to bring these broadcasts to you, and we're just awful proud that Naga is a part of that village and that they let us be a part of their village.
Here's Octavio Gamboa. He lifts one foul down the right side, and it will fall. Foul ball. Gamboa has singled and bounced back to the pitcher. The next delivery, that stays in fair territory as it's lifted out to right field, and the catch is made for out number 1.
I get the sense
Put out
you
made
were
by Ronnie Burnham.
talking football there for a second.
Yeah, we were looking at the Eagle-Buccaneer game.
What's the score?
Well, I'm not happy about it. So it's Tampa Bay was up 17-0 in the second quarter.
Did Mitch figure out the ATM machine, or did he not?
I didn't bet this morning.
He didn't bet this morning. He was trying to find coffee instead. Here's a fly ball hit out into left center field. It falls in for a hit off Rudy Garcia's bat, so it'll be runners at first and second with 1 out.
Our chief technology officer tried to do a 3-game parlay yesterday, but he couldn't figure out the betting machine, which is encouraging for our future.
Javier Olake hits one on the line in left field for a hit, and that'll plate a run.
You should see him at the self-checkout at the grocery store.
Anthony Sanchez, coming all the way from second base, scores a run. It's 14-5. On the play, Garcia held second. And we come back to the top of the order, and Jacob Ruiz. He has singled and scored, bounced to the pitcher, and singled and scored again. He is 2 for 3 and can add to his team's lead. Here's a pitch outside. And that pitch is a ball, 2-2. That pitch on the plate. And that's a walk. Actually, the count was 3-1. I missed a pitch, so it's ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
There was a pitch before they did a change of runner, and I think that was what flummoxed us a little bit, because I was on the same page as you were.
Here's a bouncing ball back to the pitcher off that bat of Munoz. They'll come home, and Bowman's throw gets by the catcher, so that will allow the run to score as Garcia does score. And
the ball
other
was in
runners move
time.
on. Yes.
And it would have been a force out, so there was not a tag needed.
Right.
But the ball just scooted under as it hits that slick plate, just kind of scooted right underneath the glove.
Here's Ramirez. Singled and scored, tripled and scored, singled, and he is 3 for 3. Here's a pop-up into left field, and the catch is made. But on the play, we have a tag and a score by the courtesy runner running for Olake, and that was Sanchez.
So as they're going to have a discussion about whether or not that was obstruction or interference, we're going to get a shout-out in here, because one of the players who's sitting on the bench right now for the LA Basic Pitches, Eddie Guzman, had a shout-out to his mama. So Mama Guzman, Eddie says hello, and the entire Basic Pitches team wants to give a shout-out to GLASA, the Greater Los Angeles Softball Association, of which they're a proud group of participants. So shout-out to GLASA from the LA Basic Pitches.
Well, whatever happened, it resulted in the third out of the inning. And I'm going to guess that the run that the courtesy runner Sanchez scored will not count. So we're going to give LA Basic Pitches 2 runs in the inning. And the score is 15-5.
This year, the Asana Softball World Series will take place August 16th through the 20th in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Join us as an estimated 100-plus teams comprised of cisgender women, trans men, non-binary, and agender athletes come together to compete in multiple divisions for the title of World Champion. Visit asanaseries.org for more info, and you can like them on Facebook, too, at Asana Softball World Series.
Here in the bottom of the fourth, Randy Simmons to lead off. Team trails by 10. Here's a ground ball, takes a big hop, but the shortstop stays with it and throws him out, and that's the first out.
A friendly hop right into the chest area where his glove was waiting on this nice and smooth infield.
That was Mark Curbs, and that's the first out. And that'll bring up Richard Chambers. Was reaching a fielder's choice, and he hits one back by the pitcher on the shortstop, and the putout is made 6-3. That's out number 2. So 2 pitches and 2 ground balls to the shortstop, Valiente, and it is 2 outs. And we go back to the top of the order, and Ron Frank, who has singled and scored, reached on a fielder's choice and scored, so he's 1 for 2 with those 2 runs scored. He has scored 2 of his team's 5 runs. His team trails by 10. Frank swings and lines one to the shortstop, a 1-hop, and then goes under his glove and into the outfield. So a bad hop single, and it's a 2-out base runner for Norfolk. Joe Bergen, the batter, he has singled and scored. He has tripled and scored. He has an RBI. Our score 15-10. The LA basic pitches. And the first pitch is a ball, 2-1. And the next delivery, illegal, ball 3, gets by the catcher, 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 quick groundouts and then a base hit on 3 pitches. Here's the pitch to Bergen. He takes the strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes, count is full. Bergen swings and hits one into right center field. It's got some carry on it, and it gets by the right center fielder to the fence. Frank comes around third. He will score. Bergen stands up at third with a triple. His second of the day. That makes the score of the LA basic pitches 15 and the Norfolk Gunnerz 6. And we'll bring up Luis Ortega, who has flied to right and singled. Here's the first pitch to Ortega. Going after the first one and lifts one foul down the right field line and into foul territory. Strike 2. Here's one in the right center field. That ball will drop in for a clean single, and that will allow Bergen to score. And an RBI single for Ortega. Second run in the inning for Norfolk. They still trail, however, 15-7, and that'll bring up Cody Brown, the left fielder. Brown is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. And he goes after the first one and hits one into left field, and the left fielder does not make the catch. Ortega motors around third. He will chug on home, and on the play, Brown to third, and a third run scores in the inning. It's now 15-8. Give him a triple. And Randy Simmons will be the batter. Randy Simmons in this game is 1 for 2. Two for 2. And the next pitch to him is hit in the air to left field. The ball is hit shallow, so a single. But the batter stepped out of the batter's box, and so his at-bat just ended.
So as we give a little bit of info about where we are in the bracket right now, we're in the loser bracket currently, so the winner of this game will advance. The loser of this game will end their weekend on that note. But our next game will be when we transition over to the winners bracket. So coming up next, after this game and potentially after this inning, will be the Columbus Fugitives against the LA Shade in what I understand is the winner bracket final.
Oh, we've gotten that deep, huh?
Yeah, and
All
so
right.
then after that game at 12 o'clock, we will take a break at 1 o'clock and then come back for the games at 2, 3, and 4.
Blue, how many runs that inning? 2 or 3? Thank you.
And while we've got the Blues' attention,
He said 7 minutes. It is 15-8 for the LA Basic pitches. We're at play here in the top of the 5th inning, and the leadoff batter, David Valiente, hits a fly ball out into right center field, and he's on with a base hit. And that'll bring up Jimmy Ruiz, who has doubled and scored, doubled and singled. So he's 3 for 3. Seemed to hit the ball well. And he awaits the first pitch.
I give it to him.
And there is a grounder to the second baseman off the glove of Curbs, but he recovers after it hit him in the chest, and he forces Valiente at second base, so that's 4 unassisted, and Ruiz reaches on the fielder's choice. Adrian Garcia, the batter. He has singled and scored. He has grounded out twice. And the first pitch to him is a ball. The next one to him is a strike call, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a ground ball in the hole between third and short into left field for a base hit. Bergen gets the ball back in. On the play, Ruiz makes second. It's first and second with 1 out for Anthony Sanchez. Anthony Sanchez is 2 for 3 this afternoon, or this morning, wherever you may be watching. And the first pitch to him is outside. The next delivery is hit to third. Ortega has the ball slide under his glove and on into left field. That'll allow a run to score as Ruiz will cross home plate. That's Jimmy Ruiz with the 16th run of the ball game for LA. And on the play, Garcia holds second, and that'll bring up Octavio Gamboa. He is singled, bounced to the pitcher, and fly to right. And he hits one off over the shortstop and into left center field for a base hit. That'll score another run as Garcia crosses the plate. Second run of the inning. It's now 17-8. Sanchez held second. For Rudy Garcia. And Rudy Garcia, first pitch to him, is hit to the shortstop, a looping soft liner, and that is the second out of the inning, out number 2. The runner's held, and that'll bring up the pitcher Javier Olake. He has hit a sacrifice fly to left center field, has doubled, and he has singled. And there is a line drive past the shortstop and into left field for a base hit. Sanchez comes around third. He will score. Gamboa into third base. 3 runs in the inning. 18-8. Gamboa to third. Olake at first. They ran for him the last time. That'll bring up the top of the order. And Jacob Ruiz. here is a fly ball looped out into left center field. The ball drops in for a hit. Gamboa will score. And on the play, Olake held at second. So 4 runs in the inning. It's 19-8.
We're up in that run rule area now.
And the first one to Munoz is hit into center field for a base hit. Olake will hold at third. He is not a fast runner, so playing station to station. That's how you avoid injury, too. You do what you can. As long as you reach a base and safe, then you're in good shape. Robert Ramirez, the batter. He bats for the 5th time in this game. And here's a ground ball over the shortstop knocks it down. And they'll get a put out at second base, 6-4. Or did they call him safe? They changed the call and they call him safe. So that is a single for Ramirez. Ruiz to third and Munoz to second. Will bring up Valiente, who started this inning with a single. And the next pitch to him is hit in the air down the left field line, and it will be caught. Put out made by the left fielder.
That was a loud out.
Cody Brown.
Well.
And yes, it was, and that ends the inning. But 1, 2, 5 more run score for the LA basic pitches here in the top of the 5th. And let me add this up. 6 and 2 is 8, 13, 15. It is 20-8. The basic pitches over the Norfolk Gunners as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
So here's kind of the situation. Time is running out, and in a couple of ways. One is because these games are timed and it's almost up, and the other is because the Norfolk Gunners, in order to stay alive here, are going to need to score at least 3 runs if they want to continue this game. But they are also running up against the clock, so it's kind of a do-or-die situation. They need to get those bats going, and we know they can because they scored early and often in the last game. So we know offense is not a challenge for them, as home plate umpire Scott Sleeman, formerly of San Diego. I can't remember where he lives now, but we've known each other for about 176 years, as he's getting this game back up and running after conferring with the managers to make sure everyone was all on the same page.
I was just trying to hear what he said, but there's too much commotion behind me, so I couldn't figure it out. But I think what he was saying was that time has expired. Here's a pop-up off the bat of Andrew Bowman. It is fielded, and a catch is made by the shortstop David Valiente, and that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th.
So again, immediately following this game, we've got LA Shade and Columbus Rampage in the winner's bracket final.
And here's Ronnie Burnham, and he goes after the first pitch, and he hits a looping fly ball into shallow left center field. And the catch is made by Jacob Ruiz, and that's out number 2. First baseman John Babb. And he's waiting, the umpire is waiting for the hitter rather, to come off the field. And the first pitch to Babb hits a ground ball to the second baseman on the first, and that's do it. Ball game. No runs in the bottom of the 5th for Norfolk. LA basic pitches hit very well in this ball game. They scored every inning, and they end the game with a final score of 20-8. That knocks Norfolk out of the tournament, and the basic pitches will move on through the losers bracket.
So again, we'll be back with the winner bracket final, Columbus Rampage versus your Los Angeles Shade. Not to be confused with the basic pitches of Los Angeles, but LA has 2 teams still alive here. We'll be back with that coverage immediately following a quick break, long enough for us to regather those lineups. We'll be back in a minute.
If the stats are correct,